it's a rising sun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, keep your eyes on the rising sun, baby. Ooh, oh yeah. You go, oh, yeah, yeah. Now keep your eyes on the rising sun. Keep your eyes on the rising sun, rising sun. I said sleeps no more, sleeps no more. The rising sun. It's beautiful, so beautiful.
Hey guys, how are you doing? This is Zed from Zed Outdoors. I hope you're having an awesome day. So I am on my next solo Wildcamp. I don't go on solos because I haven't got no mates. It's because I choose to go out once a month. I made a commitment, you know, so I think this is the third one. And what a day, man, what a day. Now usually I get here quite early. I usually get here for about 6-7 a.m. I've got here about 9:30. Got out first thing in the morning, flat tire. As you do, right? So I've actually got a spare, but it was just all a bit of a nightmare to kind of get it sorted out. And then the rush hour came in, and if you know London rush hour, then you don't leave during that time. So I waited just as it eased off. So I got a bit later than expected. So I actually had breakfast on the way here. Just stopped off, and so I'm here now, and it is what is it? Zed, what is it? What date is it? It's August. August. Look at that. I'm already forgetting things. So it's approaching the end of August, and we're gradually going into autumn now. Now the previous two solos have been very, very fortunate. Pretty much been dry, full stop, you know, not one drop of rain. And if you can hear it, there you go, rain. I'm actually relishing it. I never thought I'd relish rain. Now what it is, I got here setting up, and it just started raining just as I started setting up. But fortunately, one of the things I learned actually watching some of the videos on YouTube, damn you YouTubers, is keeping the tarp at the top of the burgers. So that was the first thing I grabbed. And I've actually made some mods to the tarp itself. I made a couple of changes. I pretty much have the same setup as before. I have the 10th Wonder hammock, good old faithful. I have the DD 3x3, and you know I've bought a few things with me that I'm going to be testing out. Now here's the kind of slight issue as to, obviously I've come here a bit later than expected, so I had a bit of a plan to do things first thing in the morning. So I had to reshuffle things around for today's solo Wildcamp. And also there were two projects I was going to work on, but the rain's going to interfere a lot. On two levels, obviously doing the project, which I don't really mind to a degree, but it's impossible for me to film because this is a DSLR. See, I like to work top of the range when I'm filming these things, and obviously it's not waterproof. So I've got to see how it goes today. It's going to be a real difficult one to film everything. I'm going to do my utmost best to kind of capture what I can. So if you think I'm just kind of like sitting around all day just eating and reading a book, then you're probably right. No, being serious now. No, I'm actually doing stuff, but I just can't film it. Obviously it's going to be stuff I'm doing away from the camp, and if it's raining, I'm just not going to be able to film. So I'll do my best to kind of capture what I can. There are 2 or 3 things I want to be testing out today. I just got through new pieces of kit, okay, kit junkie. But no, this is stuff that I've been after for a while now, so I'm looking forward to trying that out. And that's really it. So once again, I brought you along with me to join me on my journey. Just accept the fact my video is going to be really long, probably about 3 hours, possibly 2.5. Okay. The one thing I always stress in my solo Wildcamp videos, and that is, remember one thing: I am not an expert. Okay. I know I look rather dashingly handsome and all the above. But trust me, I'm not an expert, okay? I'm just a student, I'm learning. So the reason why I say that is A, disclosure, you know, and B, also don't look at anything that I do and think, well, you know, Zed's handsome, good looking, very intelligent, so he must be right. Because you know what, I might be wrong the way I'm doing something, you know. So please, don't look at me and think that's the way you've got to do it. You know, obviously you can get some ideas, maybe inspiration, but always do your due diligence and kind of check out, you know, that you didn't, you know, that I'm doing it correctly, and then obviously subsequently you're doing it correctly. But then, like I said, as a byproduct, if you get some ideas, are good. I doubt you're going to get any hairstyle ideas, that's for sure. And also, on that note, on the flip side of it, if you've got any tips and suggestions, then please let me know. Especially when I do the solo Wildcamp videos, you know, a lot of you guys, you know, very kindly, you know, give some tips and suggestions and stuff, including hairstyle tips. So I appreciate that. So once again, let me know. So let's get straight on with the solo Wildcamp of August 2014. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get this Ridgeline storm jacket on. The wind's picked up a little bit, so I just want to keep myself warm. This is an absolutely fantastic jacket. Love this. So what I've done, remember on my last solo camp video, done the little tree hugger with a strap to hang up my Bergen. You know, so touch wood, that will be working this time around. Now what I've also done is put the rain cover on. Now, everything inside is in a waterproof bag anyway. But I've also put this cover on. Now the Bergens tend to be pretty good at being water resistant, but you know, just to be on the safe side, I just kind of put this on as well. So obviously this is the DD tarp, right? Now what I've done is, remember last time I used these DD hammock issue carabiner small ones. Now this guy line here, you know, it goes all the way down. It's never ending, isn't it? It's going all the way back to Essex. But no, it's what I've done is they had their own black cord, if you just saw earlier on in the video. Now the problem with that, it was really short, so what I've done is I just got the standard paracord and just created my own guy lines. And I was absolutely hammering it down when I had to make this, so that was quite funny. But what I've done, I've replaced all the guy lines with just proper 550 paracord and just made them a lot longer. So it just gives you a lot more flexibility, you know, down the line to kind of do different formations. With the guy line for the actual tarp, last time what I did was I put it underneath, okay, the tarp, so it runs underneath it. Now loads of people commented saying that ideally you should put it above it. A few different reasons. One of the reasons is over time it will chaff and then, you know, it will slowly wear out and so forth. So I've taken all your advice, see I do listen to you guys, and I've put it through the hoops here so it goes above. Okay, so that's what I've done there. Also, remember last time the distance between the trees, remember the scientific Monty Python walk, 5 steps. Now I've actually found a tree that's got 6 steps. Here's the thing though, I was going to do like a diamond formation, you know, in terms of the tarp, but I'm going to try that on the next solo Wildcamp. What I've done this time round is, you can't see it from this angle actually, but this side down is going a bit more kind of down and that one's going straight. Okay, so what that kind of does is that it blocks that off, so the wind that's kind of coming from that angle, you know, it kind of like blocks that off. And here I just get a porch and I look out, you know, onto my kingdom. That's the kind of idea with that one there. So I'm going to see how that goes, and then what I'm going to do in the next solo Wildcamp is do like a diamond formation, so it kind of has a lot more longer coverage and just kind of a point. So the reason why I wanted to do this porch is obviously it's predicted to be rain. How much I don't know. So what I wanted was just kind of like an area down below here. So obviously sit on my hammock, that's blocked off. Sit my hammock, face out here, and then here is where I do all my kind of, you know, cooking and, you know, reading, yoga and karate, martial arts, computer hacking, you know, cyber intelligence, all that kind of stuff that you normally do when you're Wildcamp. Okay, so that's what I've done there. So that's the kind of theory at the moment. I just have to see how that goes. So I'm put off my Ridgeline storm jacket. Absolutely love this jacket, especially now that the weather's dropping, we're hitting autumn. In terms of keeping you warm and keeping you dry, man, absolutely fantastic. So in true Milan fashion walk style, let me now show you my Ridgeline storm jacket. Gentlemen, you just noticed it looks like a little mini skirt, doesn't it? It's just that this has got zips on the side so you can zip it up I've just left it open because it's fluctuating between hot and cold. So the reason why I'm walking around now is I'm going to have lunch in about an hour. But what I want to do, I want to collect a lot of the wood now while it's still kind of just dry. There's a bit of a break in the rain. Now what I'm looking for, now obviously it's been kind of raining on and off all week, so what I'm really looking for is the advice I've been given is dead standing wood that's just kind of been hung up on a tree or something like that. And that way more likely it's going to be dry. If it's been on the floor, it's probably soaked up a lot of moisture. But obviously I can kind of like cut it open, feather sticks, all that good stuff. So what I'm doing, I'm looking for wood that's kind of hanging off. There's not a huge amount here. I've seen, well actually, I think there's a couple of pieces here. So that'll do there, and then the rest I'll just kind of grab what I can. But I want to kind of collect it now while there's a bit of a break. And in that way, if it's raining, then obviously it makes things a little bit more difficult. So let me go and grab these couple of bits right here. Now this stuff isn't ideal, it's been on the floor, but it's kind of just semi sort of dry. What I need this more for is the twigs, so you can see it's still pretty dry. But I want it for the kind of smaller twigs here. This should do. No, I'm joking. I've kept this to one side from last time to use as the backing, as like a shield, wind protector. So So now that's it, I've collected the firewood. I'm going to be processing that in a few minutes. So now time to cook lunch. It's a hard life, isn't it? So on the basis of cooking lunch, the one thing I have been looking out for a few months out is a folding stove. Now there's two kind of primary market leaders at the moment. There's the Firebox out in America and there's the Bushcraft Essentials out in Germany. And I've been looking at kind of both of them for a while now. Now there's a few reasons why I've been looking at getting a folding stove. And those are, firstly, it's a lot more efficient, hell of a lot more efficient. You burn a lot less fuel. I've got this thing about wasting fuel, even if it's abundant, I don't care. I don't want to waste too much. And plus, it means you process less, okay, as opposed to like a big fire, normal fire. The other reason is it's a lot less cleanup, you know, compared to like a normal fire, you know. It's mainly just ash, that's all you've really got to do. The other reason also is you have a few more options with the folding stove. So for example, you can grill stuff on there and what have you not. You know, they're quite compact. When you get the ones that have the accessories, you know, you can pretty much do anything you want on there. Also the other reason is because now it's coming into autumn and winter. I mean, right now the wind's picking up, it's raining on and off. Especially moving into autumn and winter, what it is with the folding stove is you can use it under your tarp and stuff like that, and it's just a lot better. You know, with a big fire, it's harder to control. But with a folding stove, it's a lot easier to do that. So obviously I've been looking at the two options, the Firebox and the Bushcraft Essentials. Now I've actually been speaking to the Bushcraft Essentials guys for a few months now. They're based out in Germany, really nice guys. They're all part of the same clique with, you know, Wildcamp and all these guys that are kind of popular on YouTube. And he asked me for my address, and lo and behold, about a week later, I received a Bushbox XL. He sent a couple of the other stoves as well for me to try out. Now I want to be very transparent here. You know, this has been sent to me as a gift from Bushcraft Essentials. I'm not being endorsed, I'm not being sponsored or anything. You know, I'm going to be very open about what my opinions are of this. And be it good, be it bad, I'm just going to be very, very open, okay? So I need to be very, very transparent with that. So what we'll do, let's zoom in and let's just have a more detailed look at what this stove actually includes. So here we have it. It's a pretty decent size. Now I've held the firebox before, I don't own that, and the firebox is really heavy. This is probably a little bit lighter. It's made from stainless steel and it's got this very, very strong Cordura bag that it's come with. So when you open it up, the first thing you get out is the grill plate. So we just put that to the side for a minute. There's one thing I love about this, and you're going to see why in a second. So it comes out, and that's basically it. Okay, so it all comes in one package here. So these are the kind of grill racks that go on, and I'll show you this in a second. There's some very cool stuff with this. So this is what I love about this is the Bushbox XL, by the way. This is the largest model that they do. Okay, so this is what I love about it. Check this out. That's it. That is it. That is the setup. You open it up and it just folds flat out. What you've got here is you've got the ashtray at the bottom, and then you've got obviously the rack on top. In here you feed through obviously your fuel, and there you go. And around it, it's obviously designed, obviously German engineering is the best. So, you know, it's obviously got a lot of good airflow coming through here, and that is basically it. How cool is that? Now, what you do have, I hope I'm still in the frame of the shot, is you have these. Now, these are the racks that kind of go on top. So you can obviously, you get two of these, and obviously as you saw they're clipped on the side. You can just put these wherever you want. It's got a few different options here. You know, if you want them closer together, you can have them closer together. If, you know, for example, you've got something narrow on here, if you've got something a bit wider, you can just put them here. Literally, the kind of options are endless. Okay. The other good thing about these is, you know, and obviously I'm going to be using this, I'm going to be noticing this a lot more, but as this gets hot, you know, to move it around is a bit of a nightmare. So what you could do with these, if we just slot it into the back here, that's it, you can move it around. Okay, it just clips in, you can just move it around. Also, what these are good for, and as you're going to see in a minute when I start fueling it up, is to clear out the ash here. Okay, simple but an absolutely fantastic design. So what you've got also here, you've got the grill rack, right, and that just goes in here, and that's it. It just slots on top. What it's designed for, obviously, if you want to cook meat, or you want to kind of disperse the heat if you're cooking, you know, with a pan or whatever. The list just kind of goes on and on. The one thing with these, obviously these sit flush, you know, but the one thing you can do is you can have it going above, right? So in that way, you know, you get more airflow. So it sits a little bit higher up the pan when you're doing it. All right, so literally, you know, the options are endless. And what you can also do is you can put these through as well, okay, inside of it. You know, so what you can see here, so if you want something to sit lower down, you can even use a trangier inside here. You can drop the heat down even more. Yeah, the options are kind of endless, you know, they really, really are. So this is the Bushbox XL, a fantastic, fantastic bit of kit. 51 Foxy says, cracking bit of kit that is, you know. And there you go, that is the Bushbox XL, a fantastic piece of engineering. So what we'll do, let's process the wood, obviously the kindling. Obviously it's a lot more efficient, but it does mean you need to work a little bit more in processing the wood to smaller pieces, and let's get this roaring and get tea on and get some lunch on. So now we need to batten the wood, make it into some smaller kindling, and for that we are going to use a man's knife. Check this out. The Ontario. This is my knife. So there you go. That is the Ontario. Let's say the TAK-1. Now this is not mine. This is belonging to Michael Clark, aka Survival Bloke on YouTube. He's a good friend of Hunteria in 1986. I'm going to put his YouTube link below. please go and check him out. Super nice guy. We met at the wilderness gathering for the first time, and he kindly lent me this for a couple of months. Said, look, you know, because I was looking for a full tang knife to really kind of like batter around, and he said, look, go ahead and use this. So I'll have a bit of fun with this later on, but for now let's get on with the kindling, because Mr. Z Outdoors needs to get lunch on. Jeez, went through that like anything. Okay, so look at that, man. Untitled TAK-1, that's what you call a proper knife. So the first thing we do, obviously, we just clear this area here. So even though technically you shouldn't really burn the floor, that is just good practice. There you go. These are the gloves that Jedi Knight of the Woods kindly gifted me. So right, so we've got that clear. So now, the Bushbox XL. So I went from a German to a French accent there. Right, so we just make sure it's a little bit sturdy. We can get through. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to lay on a couple of these kind of like, you know, slightly biggish pieces, you know. So just a few, okay, nothing major, just to kind of line the bottom. Then what I want to do is just add on just a few twigs there. Okay, so that adds like a bit of a layer. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try a couple of ways now doing the fire, and then I've got a few more bits of kindling and some dry leaves and stuff to kind of really bolster it up, and then I've just kind of processed a load of wood. So let's give the first method a try. Okay, so what I've done is just use it as a bit of a base. You can see that now. I found this bit of birch bark you see me pick up on the floor. The problem I've got with this is that it's really rolled up. I'm trying to think how to keep it. 1 second. It's the first time I'm using birch bark like this. I found it on the floor, so I don't even know if it's going to work. We'll just have to give it a try. Let me just, I'm just trying to fold it the other way. Let's just break some of this off. Okay, so let's just break that off, keep that there. So I do want to keep that there. But the difficulty I've got at the moment is trying to keep the thing unravelled. Okay, so that's a bit of a nightmare, that. So obviously the first thing we need to do is proven to be very difficult, actually. Let me think about this. Let's just see if any of this will actually work. I don't think it will work. It's just not. The problem with this is that it's rolled up. It's on the floor, so I don't know how it got rolled up. Let me just try and open this up. What I want to do, I want to try and get some a little bundle, and I want to kind of use the fire still. So that's my intention. So I don't know if it's going to work. Sorry about this, guys. Give this a try. Let's see if this will work. Okay, so Now, the problem I've got is it's closing up. That's the problem I've got. See what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this bit off. So I've just got to try and keep this open. That's all I've got to do. Gosh, that's a complete mess, doesn't it? Let's give this a go. Actually, if that doesn't work, I'm trying to think that the only way I'm going to be able to do this is if I no, it's just not happening. So I did give it a try, and I'm just going to have to light it now. So plan B, I knew what the problem was with that, it just kept rolling up, so I couldn't keep it flat. So it's giving me food for thought. If you've got any tips, let me know. Plan B, see, I've got to try everything, man. So this was a brass capsule holder ordered from the good old US of A. It's handmade. And this is what it's got inside it. So, I mean, this basically just kind of attaches to your belt, okay, and it just kind of hangs inside your pocket. So what you do, let's just loosen this up. There you go, okay. Take the cotton wool out, and there you go. You have got more cotton wool. 1 second, let me get that out. Okay, there you go. I've got some Swan Vestas, so I'm going to give that a try. These are the Strike Anywhere ones. So I'm just trying to look inside the camera as well. So what I'll do, hopefully, let me put this back here. Put this back here. It just tightens up. That's it. So let's give this a try. Right. So what I want to do is basically ideally light like this. Okay, so let's just see. Seem to work. Let's just put this extra bit of birch in there. So what you want to do is just hoping that grass isn't too dry. It's all trial and error, guys, so this is the first time I'm kind of lighting when everything's been out in the rain quite heavily. All trial and error, my friends. It's the only way you're going to learn. So what I'll do, let me just put this here. So the first thing I want to do is get a brew on just before I put my lunch on. So this is the Trangia kettle. I think this is the, what is this again? 0.5 or something litre. Got a little creepy cool reel in there, probably add to the taste. So let's just do some water. I'll do a bit, so I'll make a second cup and then leave that for later on because I'm using the ammo pouch flask. Love this, man, absolutely love it. So what I've done is added on a couple of like decent, how can I put them, like 2 finger sized pieces in, just to keep the flame going. Man, that is going so nice. Right, now let's put this in without trying to burn my face off. That's where you have to be really careful actually. Just keep it like that one, raised a little bit. It's the first time I'm using it, so that's why I'm a little bit. And you know what? I've got my gloves sitting here, so I need to use them. Right, so there you go. That's it. Trim it so I've done it so it's raised slightly, so there's a bit more air going into it. And now it's like the landing of the Apollo, isn't it? I was actually just about to hum the Rocky theme tune. I don't know why I'm humming that for. Anyway, look at that. Look at a proper bushcrafter now. Look at that. Bushbox, fire burning, Trangia kettle, and look at that. That's proper stuff, that. Okay, so now the brew's done, and what I like about it is in this one you just put the lid on, that's it, done. This will stay hot for about 4 or 5 hours. Obviously I'm going to drink it in about half an hour. But there you go. So now I'm going to cook lunch. What is lunch? We'll keep it quite simple today actually. There you go, instant noodles, you can't go wrong with them. And just whack in a tin of sardines from the store where every little helps, alright? So what I'm going to cook it in is something that I've been eyeing up for quite a while, and it's not the local women. And that is the Crusader mess tin. Check this baby out. So I've been on the lookout for a really good cooking pot. Now I'm going to get the bush pot from Pathfinder, okay, that's really my kind of dream pot. But for now I wanted something also as well I can do like fry-ups and what have you not. And I've been looking at this, and lo and behold, not long ago, Mr. Jedi Knight of the Woods posted up on Instagram that he was selling his one. It was brand new. It was, you know, a really good price, and I thought, you know what, the opportunity came. So, what are a couple of things that I love about this Crusader mess tin? Now, obviously, let me stress, this is the first time I'm going to be using it, but I've been watching a lot of videos, talking to a lot of people. Okay, so here's a few things that swung me in the favour of this. Firstly, it's made out of steel, the whole thing. Okay, there's no aluminium components, no nothing. Now over time I want to move to kind of everything being steel, right? And what you do, it just kind of clips on, okay, it's pretty tight. And if you just flip this over, okay, that kind of locks in there, right? So let me just deal with the lid first. The lid's got quite a good fit on it. Let me just talk about this for a second. So this is all steel. Now here's the beauty part. Pull this out. There you go, you've now got a handle. But it gets even better than that. Oh voila! flip it over, you now have a frying pan. So literally this is designed as a frying pan. You know, I've yet to use it. I'm not going to use it on this occasion, but possibly the next occasion do a fry up. And there you go, that is a frying pan. Obviously lid, frying pan, lid, frying pan. Okay, so it's like a schizophrenic lid. Okay, can't make out what it is. There you go, so how cool is that? And also, so that's what I loved about it. So it could double up. It's a lid for your food. That's a big one. You know, as you know, when you start cooking stuff outdoors, you know, while you're waiting for one thing to cook and the other thing's already cooked, you know, it goes cold. So I really wanted something with a lid. And obviously I wanted something like a frying pan to do fry-ups and what have you not. But a couple of things that I loved about this is, obviously the standard mess tins are aluminium. I'm not really too keen on them. So firstly, it's got a handle. That's a big thing with a plate. You know, the plate can get really, really hot. You know, also this is a cooking utensil. You put it on the fire, 100% steel. You know, it's got a good kind of depth to it. It's just a fantastic size. So all in all, you know, this, you know, with the kind of lid, you know, you're not going to go wrong. So obviously that just sort of trying to do this behind the camera. So there you go. That goes like that. And there you go, you've got a compact thing. So obviously you can put a load of stuff inside this. So technically, for example, if I was on a day trip or something, I'll just put that inside there and what have you not. So I absolutely love this. So I'm going to cook my lunch now. Let's see how we get on with this. So first things first, we can remove the lid. Now we are going to need that to do that, so we can kind of lift it off. First thing we're going to do is we get the noodles. I remember I used to be at university, man, we used to live on this stuff, it was so cheap. Right. And by the way, a lot of this stuff I wouldn't actually eat normally at home. I generally eat quite healthy. Now one thing I've learned with these noodles is don't just put the block in like a lot of people do. Break it up, you know. There you go. Okay, so there you go. I broke it, like my nephew used to say when he was a baby. Alright, so now I just put the seasoning in. And that way I'm not chucking the rubbish everywhere, I've got a little pile here. So when you get your YouTube vigilantes, this is an outdoors, you're polluting the environment. So I can get it in. Story of my life. Right, anyway, let's behave now. Okay, so what we've got now, sardines. These ones are in sunflower oil. And there you go, so it's already got a bit of oil in there, which is good. Okay. Because usually what I do, if it hasn't got oil, I keep it's a Nalgene bottle, and I keep the olive oil in here. A little thing I learned with Nalgene, I didn't know this up until a couple of months ago, and what Nalgene are actually famous for is they make bottles for the pharmaceutical industry, you know, containers and stuff. So, you know, that's what they're actually really known for. So, could double up as a pee bottle, I guess, you know. Mind you, if your pee look like that and that consistency, I think you need to see a doctor. So, anyway, while we're talking about pee and stupid things, right. So, here's my spoon. Okay, so I'm going to just chop that up a little bit. Man, tell you what, this spoon here, the titanium long handle spoon, is literally the only utensil I take out with me. I don't even bother taking knife, fork, spoon, nothing at all. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need to add butter. Some of you guys will get that joke. Let's just add it on. Looks a bit iffy, I know, to some of you, but trust me, man, this is proper stodge. So I'm not going to win any Gordon Ramsay awards, but I'll tell you what, this stuff will proper fill you up, and that's the thing you need out there, calories. And you know, next time if I bring a chick, then you know, I'll probably jazz it up a little bit. But for now, I've only got you guys to impress, hairy bunch of bushcrafters. So let's get this on the fire. Right, so had my lunch, tasted really good. Very impressed with that Crusader and the Bushbox. enough talk about bush for now. So here's what Mr. Z Outdoors is about to do now. So I've got the 4 guy lines going out of each corner, and they're obviously the ridge line. This is the porch area. It feels weird when you're saying porch in the outdoors. This is the middle part of the tarp. There's nothing here, right? I haven't got an extra carabiner, that's the problem. So at the moment it's going like that. It's like the Mexican wave, right? So Mr. Z Outdoors is trying to think, how am I going to solve that problem? So this is the old guy line. I just need like a temporary fix. So I'm going to tie this to a tree that's just about a yard away. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to give this a try. I have no idea if this is going to work. 1 second. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh! Mr. Z Outdoors is there, I think. Right, let's give this a try now. Look at that. Look at that. Give Bear Grylls a run for his money now. Mind you, I'm not staying in a 5-star hotel. Did I just go there? I think I just went there. I'm joking, because he's probably going to kick my ass if ever I meet him. Anyway, so there you go. Look at that, man. Z-Shar has solved the problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this down a little bit. See, look, I actually learn stuff when I watch your YouTube videos. Some of you people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop it down a little bit, because what that does is it creates like a funnel. So when and as it rains, which is gonna, it'll just funnel straight off. So what I can do for this is connect it to a series of pots and vases and plumbing, and funnel it back to my house. So it's a whole recycling process. All right. Okay, so one of the things we're going to do is have a little play around with it. That's what she said. Please behave. Right. This is the TAK-1. So I want to give it a quick bit of a beast in and see how it performs. First things first, let's quickly do some feather. When you're using it, you can feel the weight of it. Right, so it seems to do that. Let's now smack it back a bit. Oh, everyone knows how to smack proper strong, that lad. Proper strong. I mean, what a difference, you know, a full tang, good quality knife makes. You know, it's what I'm on the lookout for. So, it's an absolute workhorse. I'll tell you what, it's done pretty well. So, we have got the final test. So here we have a dead tree, okay? There's a trunk next to it. That's a dead tree there. I can assure you, before the YouTube vigilantes get on my case, with what I'm about to do, I can assure you this is dead. Dearly beloved, we are here today because the tree's dead. Going to do a bit of knife throwing. I have no idea how you throw a knife. I know there's a knack to it. I remember someone taught me once actually. You've got to get a balance of here, and it's got to be that. Who knows, man? I'll check it out. Have a bit of fun. Now, obviously, I'm doing it in a safe manner, okay? So it's not going anywhere near me here. All right, before anyone freaks out. Almost said you there. at that, 180! Get in there! So one thing I did get, because I thought was quite a useful thing, is one of these. I think it's by BCB, I don't even remember who I bought it off. But it's got the compass, which is actually quite reliable, I checked it. And it's got the thermometer, you know. It's actually good to kind of keep an eye on what the temperature is, especially now going into autumn and then subsequently winter. I did look at the electric ones, but I want to kind of rely less and less upon electrical stuff while I'm outside. He says while using a DSLR, okay? So this is actually really, really cool. So it just kind of clips on. So depending on, you know, what I'm doing, I might clip it onto my day bag or my Bergen or my earrings. You know, it's like the new fashion now in London. So there you go, man. Very, very useful bit of kit to have. You know, very, very cheap. I think I paid like £2-3 for it. But like I said, very reliable. I double checked all this. So it's that time in my solo video where I know my videos get, well, a little bit too long. So what I've decided to do is have an intermission, and during that intermission I want to reenact an over dramatic murder suicide scene from a Shakespearean play. One thing I'm really getting into is tribal culture. So not necessarily just Native American, any traditional primitive kind of like ancient culture. So for example, the Aboriginals, you know, tribes out from Eastern Asia, from Africa, from South America, and obviously the Native Americans. It's weird, you know, obviously these civilizations, some of them, obviously the Aboriginals, for example, you know, thousands of years they've been practicing the same thing. So, you know, on very, very primitive basic skills, you know, they're able to achieve what I've got in a massive Bergen, you know, and more, right? And it's more than just the actual skills for me, it's the connection that they have. So this is where I sound like a right hippie, you know, but seriously, one thing I really connect with is the attachment they had to the land. So being in the UK, for example, you've got the pagans, you know, so we're kind of, there's this misconception pagans are devil worshippers and this and that. Now obviously you have elements of, you know, that might worship that and what, right? But the one thing when you actually look at the paganism as an example, and I'm not condoning it or kind of talking against it, but if you look at on its own merit paganism, what did it do? It was talking about, you know, working with nature, with the land, with the seasons, you know, with the energy that you have in the forest and everything around you in the United Kingdom. And in my opinion, I don't want to go into this as like a real deep rabbit hole, but you know, the ancients, even the modern day ancients, you know, the Native Americans, etc., they had a connection and an understanding of the world that, you know, we've lost, especially in the West. So kind of starting to read up on these people now, you know, the cultures and traditions that they have and the ceremonies. Like I'm reading now about the death ceremony and some of the ritual cycles that they have. It's really, really deep stuff, you know. On the face of it, it might just be a little bit like comical or whatever, but the reality is when you look at them, they had an understanding, man. In my opinion, they understood nature way, way more than we do with the modern technology and stuff that we have. So anyway, I'm not going to get to a philosophical discussion now. For another time. Okay, so it's approaching night time. It's going to be dark in about an hour and a half. So what I've done is I've processed the wood. Okay, and what I've done now, I've collected some dry grass earlier on, and I'm going to process that now and attempt a tinder bundle. Okay, so I'm on my little kneeling mat. Now what I'll do, out of my pockets, if you remember earlier on, I grabbed this stuff here, okay? So the reason why you put it in your pocket, you know, what I've learned is it basically kind of dries it out from your body heat. And there you go, this is some finer grass, so I think you inevitably as a bushcrafter end up with loads of bits of wildlife in your pocket. So I'm going to use this as like the main kind of like tinder bundle, okay, like the cradle. So what I'm going to do with this, actually let me just get my gloves on. Delicate hands. Alright, so basically what you do, alright, so I mean granted it's just the, you know, it's the Bushbox, so you don't really need it, but I'm here to practice, so I wanna, what you wanna do, you wanna just grind it up, and you've probably seen me do this before, but so you really wanna grind up these fibres, so just pick it up again. And this stuff here you want to collect, right, that's in the actual thing. So I guess if you're using a small tarp or anything, then just collect it somewhere, or even just a jacket, you know. And I see Dave Canterbury on his videos just uses his jacket, you know, so, or his wool blanket. So let's just, you can see. So what that does is just kind of roughens it out a bit. It's quite a bit of wind blowing actually, so let's make the cradle. Okay, so we've got this. I want to really use this as like the cradle, so you kind of, you know, grab that. Okay, gives you something to grab. I don't want it too big. That's what she said. Please, let's behave now, guys. Alright, so what you do, you just put that in there. Okay. So you just kind of like make a little thing there, little nest. Okay, so it's looking, hopefully, it's looking pretty good. Now what you want to do with this stuff here, none of this stuff, this is the vital part actually. So what you do is you want to, hopefully this is in the frame of the shot, my apologies if it isn't. Let's actually put this here, that needs to go right in the middle. Okay, this finer stuff. Okay. See that? This finer stuff here just goes in there. Hopefully this finer stuff here is really what's key to making this work. So the one thing I learnt is, remember with the charcoal, if you watch my last solo video, I struggled to get this light. It took me a while. Now the tip I've been taught is to get a bit of a decent piece and double it and then quadruple it, you know, and then put that on the edge. So when you strike it, hopefully, boom, it just catches more. So let's give that a try. Okay, the moment of truth. Last time, remember, it took me ages to get the charcoal lit. So, touch wood, man. Touch wood, touch wood, touch wood. Let's do this. Okay, so, tinder bundle ready, kindling already, different sizes. Come on, let's do this, man. Let's do this, Mr. Z Outdoors. Okay, let's do this. Yes! Got it, look at that. Hopefully I'm in the frame of the shot, my apologies if I'm not. Very damp, this grass. It's been raining all week. See, I'm making excuses. So there you go, success with the Tinder bundle. However, complete transparency here. I was adding the kindling, I processed it correctly. I think everything was so wet. It started to really die down no matter what I was doing. And you know what, in the end I had to add on some cotton ball Vaseline just to get it up. So complete transparency there. It's the first time I'm kind of dealing with firelight in natural anyway. When the wood's all wet, you know, so it's a big learning curve for me. So obviously once again more and more to learn now and go away and take away with. But everything else was a success, but everything was just so damp. But it's given me a lot more food for thought, because obviously the next few months are going to be the same, if not worse. So there you go, all part of the learning curve, man, for Mr. Z Outdoors, and even possibly for you watching. So I'm going to get dinner on now. Just before I do that, I want to do a little shout out to some channels. I kind of tend to do this every time I do my solos, especially. To 3 channels that are out there that I really like and I think you'll gain a lot of benefit from. I'm going to put a link just at the bottom of the screen here. The first one is to Urban Dodger. That is Rich. He's from the northwest. That's your way that way, isn't it? The northwest. What a nice guy. We met in person for the first time in the Bushcraft show earlier in the year, and a super nice guy. He hasn't put out some videos in maybe a couple of months now. But he's a really nice guy. He's a very clued up guy. He works with the Scouts for many years. And he's got a lot of knowledge. Man, he's really big in real life as well. That is well. Behave. Okay. But he's really quite big in real life. You think he's just a small guy, but the guy's got a big heart. You know, he's a really nice guy. So definitely check out the Urban Dodger. The second one is a slightly newer guy. Once again, I met at the Bushcraft show, Brum Craft. Link at the bottom of this screen. A new guy on YouTube, already kind of making a bit of a name for himself. Very experienced, very humble, really funny guy. And we talk a lot on Twitter and stuff, and send each other love messages, you know, that kind of thing. So he's another really nice guy, very clued up. He's only got a few videos, but they're all fantastic. You're going to learn a lot. I've picked up a lot of tips from his videos too. Plus you can listen to his sexy Brummy accent, right? And for those of you outside the UK, it's in Birmingham, in the Midlands part. So Brumcraft, another one. And last but not least, Mr. Hunterian, 1986. That's how he says it. So Mr. James Hunter, we got on pretty close. No, literally, yeah, we stalk each other. So I'm joking. What a super nice guy. We speak all the time. We hook up a lot. I think he speaks to me more than he does his wife. So if his wife's watching, quiet. And what a nice guy. Some great videos, quite established actually on YouTube, been around for a long time. When I started out, it gave me a lot of support, and I still appreciate that. Another awesome guy you should definitely check out. He's just on the verge of hitting his 1,000 subscribers. Fully deserved. Another awesome guy that you have to check out. So, the 3 channels, The Urban Dodger, Brumcraft, and Hunterian 1986. Make sure you go check them guys out. So what I'm going to do now, I want to get my dinner on now. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to record because it's going to get dark literally within the next half an hour. I'll do my best to grab what I can. If not, I will see you guys in the morning. Morning guys, how are you doing? It is about 7 AM, so I didn't wake up at this time. I woke up about 4, but it was lashing it down with rain. So I just sat there in my hammock, just listening to the rain hitting the top, which was really relaxing. So I got up about 6:30-ish, 6, half 6 to actually get out because it just started to ease off it. So now it's just completely dry. All in all, great night's sleep. Really had a good night's sleep. I always sleep well when I'm outside, thankfully. Just to quickly go over a few things, I always like to do a quick recap of my trip. Just to kind of highlight to me the areas which I need to learn and improve on and what went well. So first things first, the importance of a possibles bag with some good items in it. I used to have a possibles bag a few months ago, but I'll be honest with you, I just put a lot of rubbish in there. So I just got rid of that, went back to basics, and now I'm starting to understand a few things I need to have in there. So I want to start putting together like a really simple but practical possibles bag. There's a difference, pardon me, there's a difference between what you think you need and what you actually need. So, the other thing was the top configuration worked out really well. So obviously next time I want to try out hopefully the diamond configuration. I want to keep trying different configurations out, because I'm not here to get stuck up on one thing. The other thing was the birch. Obviously it wasn't successful lighting with a fire still, but I knew that as soon as I picked it up because it was just all rolled up. So I roll it back out again, scrape it, and it would just roll back in again. So I kind of knew it wasn't going to work, but I'm just here to try it out. And you learn from our mistakes, see? You learn from Z Outdoors' mistakes. The other one was I had a battery power pack to charge up my phone. The irony being, sod's law, I didn't charge that up before I come out, right? So I couldn't charge my phone up. So, another lesson learned. I've got a list actually of things that I check before I come out. That's been added to that list now. The other thing is, where are we? I had to make notes, otherwise I forget. Crusader mess tin, what a great tin, love that tin, absolutely fantastic. So I can definitely see myself using it a lot more, like practically. So far very impressed with that. The other thing, the final thing is the Bushbox XL, the stove. Wow, what a great stove. And I'm not just saying it. Obviously I've done a fire a few times now, I'm not like majorly experienced. But everything, what's there not to like about it, very simple to set up, takes seconds. It burns a lot less fuel. Obviously you've got to manage the fuel a bit more, like you've got to, even that actually I learned very quickly, how to kind of process the wood, how to keep that going. So obviously over time I'll get hopefully more experience with that. Now the next time round I'm probably not going to use it, but only for the reason that I need to try other different ways of doing fire, like a Dakota fire pit, a fire pit dug out into the ground, that kind of stuff. But once again, I'm not just saying it, but I can definitely see its place in future campouts. It's such a versatile piece of kit. And biggest thing for me, the cleanup. The cleanup is very minimal, and also it's very fuel efficient. So those two reasons alone are massively in favour of the Bushbox XL. So, like I said, I'm not vouching for it, but so far the one day of experience and hearing from other people, it's definitely got its place. Pardon me, just get a bit emotional in the morning. Okay, so there you go. Those are the things that I've learned from this trip. Like I said, I'm here to kind of improve. I'm not here to get stuck up or do one thing or one way. Just want to try out loads of different ways, fail fast, and then learn from there. Obviously, because of the adverse weather conditions in general over the past 24 hours, I wasn't able to record as much because of the camera. It's just not designed for bad weather. So hopefully moving forward, I'm going to sort out another camera for exactly conditions like this. And because obviously timing, I wasn't able to do a couple of things. But all in all, I really enjoyed it. I came out here, I did end up getting a chance to relax, read, and what have you not. So that was really good. It was really nice. The Bushbox XL is right in front of me, you can't see it, but it's just under the tarp here, a little kind of fire going. It was just, it was really, really nice at night, and it gives off a really good glow. So all in all, I really enjoyed the trip. Finally, I have taken a few snaps of this trip out, and I put them on my fan page, and also put some on my Instagram. So please join me on Instagram. Most of the pictures I put on Instagram, I don't put up anywhere else. And fan page, I always tend to take pictures of all my trips out, and I put them as a collection on my fan page. So join me on my Instagram and fan page by checking out the links below. So as always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. I apologise once again for it being so long. I just acknowledge all my videos are going to be long now, well, most of them. If you haven't fallen into a coma, then it's always good. So I hope whatever you're doing, until the next time, you have an awesome day, a blessed week ahead. So until the next time, this is Ed from Zed Outdoors. Peace out.